Hi, it's me again, Baki Yamcha, whatever you want to call me. Um, so this one, I'm such a good mood today. Before I start, um, let me warn you, my job put new systems up, so and it's very loud. So you might hear, oh, this place got, this department has a phone call. It's very loud, so um, probably might not hear it as much because we're in closing time. But yeah, just to warn you. So I'm in such a good mood. My favorite band, Duran Duran, finally got nominated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And shout outs to Michael Sperduti, who says I inspired him to start working out or work out even more. Shout outs to you, thank you. So, let's talk about dragons, reptilians, um, just another way they deceive humans. And I'm going to get to my favorite cryptid, finally getting to a cryptid other than aliens, the Loch Ness monster. Alright? So, back in 2019, I got this book called Dragon Magic. And then the follow-up book, The Five Inner Rings. Um, very, very good book. And this universe is, it goes back to Sumerian times and the story about the Anunnaki and I forgot I'm having a brain fart. I'm sorry, but it's a story about Marduk and oh my God, Tiamat. Fighting what was his great grandmother. This universe, because of the Anunnaki, really reveres dragons, especially here on Earth, because they have great control over this planet. This is a prison planet because of them. Whether you want to believe that all the Ascended Masters, all the Anunnaki are in control to control us, or you believe that the Anunnaki and the Draconians are fighting each other to control us, whatever you believe in. This is why stuff like European mythology or stories, Asian stories, even stuff like I believe the KKK, they have something about being a white dragon when you're higher up in their ranks or something like that. That's why you see dragons everywhere. Even in anime, there's an anime called Red Dragon, and this person has to the main character has to make sacrifices to get a wish from this red dragon that he summons. And then there's a black dragon. Don't want to spoil the anime, but those that know me in real life, I can let you borrow it. Definitely recommend it. But anyways, and of course we all know about Dragon Ball Z. Arguably the best anime out there. So it's just dragons are, mythical creatures. They do exist in another dimension. There is a dimension where they do exist. So, you could astral to that plane. You could use your clairvoyance like I did. But they do come to our planet existence and intermingle with us. Just like you hear about the reptilians, with the shape-shifting, they do that. So this book by DJ Conway, it teaches you dragon magic. they tell you right in the book that they can shapeshift and morph into humans, and just like the angels are. Remember me saying in my last video, not my last video, but my other videos, that code name for angels is the reptilians, the benevolent reptilians. Code name for the demons are the benevolent reptilians, and there are books that continue this. They continue the story of the Bible in forms of the Anunnaki, where they basically says the Bible is real. The other parts that doesn't get covered, like the parting of the Red Sea, so Moses, and stuff like John wrestled with the angel, and John wrestles with reptilian, and the angels, I believe they say they are very tall, and like 7 or 9 feet tall, which fits the description of a reptilian, a draconian reptilian. Or so when they shapeshift from human form, they start to grow in size. So like I said, I've seen someone begin to shapeshift. So those that still are not believing, open your third eye. Trust and hope that you don't meet one face to face. Like I said, it's just like the vampire legend. Luckily, the vampire. I think if you want between the two, which one you would want to be real, you would want the vampires to be real rather than reptilians, because basically you run into one, you're screwed. DJ Conway is a very good author. I have some of her books, not only on summoning dragons or summoning other mythical creatures to help you, like the mermaids and the elves and unicorns and all the other elemental creatures. Yes, they do exist. I will do a video on those in the future, but if you do get this book by DJ Conway, be prepared to invest some money, because then I had to get dagger. I was able to find one with a dragon on it. I already had a sword with a dragon on it, so I was partially there before even getting into dragon magic. And funny, because before I even reached my spiritual awakening, I saw a sword and wanted it, and bought it. The universe was telling me, get the sword, and I wasn't in tune at the time, but it's just crazy because now I'm glad I listened, and I didn't know that stuff at the time. So things just fall into play. It's another example of that. You have to buy a chalice, even a mirror. Have a dragon mirror. It's all to help you, and also it in turn raises your vibration, because you're more powerful. Because dragons are very, very powerful magic users themselves, and so are the Anunnaki reptilians. So going back to the story of the Marduk versus Tiamat, that is also mentioned in the book, Dragon Magic, the first one. So in the book, it also mentions the Loch Ness monster, possibly being a sea serpent, and that transforms into a human being, and intermingles with mankind, like they say a lot of the Anunnaki reptilians do. And there's a big relation to Anunnaki and the actual dragons. Depending on who you ask, they are, the same, just another race of reptilians, or vice versa. Some people say that about the reptiles we see on Earth, like the alligators and the turtles. Some people call crocodiles water dragons. Some people call turtles shell dragons. Just people that are in tune with this stuff, with magic, magic lore, and all that stuff. But I also have a deck of cards, oracles, and they also say in the oracles that dragons can shapeshift into humans and, hey buddy, how you doing? And the same thing as the reptilians and some people who might be part of the New World Order. So Loch Ness monster. All right, I'm going to use the most famous example of this. Over in Scotland, there is a sea serpent. I'm going to say it like I know for sure it's real, and yeah, I'm going to stay straight up. Yeah, it's real, because I trust my third eye, because I've used my third eye to find out stuff, and what I've found out through my third eye, in truth, almost, I want to say it's pretty flawless. When I thought something was going to happen, I seen it through my third eye, it happened. I had a friend that went missing. We didn't know if she was alive. She had gotten kidnapped or adult napped, and we didn't know if she was alive. I used my third eye to see if she was alive and where she was, and I was speaking to her grandmother, and back in 2015, and this, when she got the information of where her whereabouts, it was exactly what I said, what I saw through my vision. Loch Ness monster. Now when you look up information about Loch Ness monster, they do a lot of, they really try to feed into your head that it's not real, like science this, science that. But the thing is, and a lot of us spiritual people that are awake, we know that, yeah, science is real, but doesn't mean they can't lie. And we all know, if you're on my channel, and whether you're Christian or New Age or Muslim, whatever, you know that the mainstream lies. That's why we're here. We're here, to help expand the consciousness. I know there's some Christians that are here to looking at me like, oh, I wish he was with Jesus, because I've been told I'm such a warrior and you need to go to Christ, like you'd help people being Christian, but I have gotten that, but I don't know if you guys saw that. That was a bug. That was a human shaped into a bug, and I'm joking, but no, that was a bug. So one of the things they say is that there's no way that Nessie, a plesiosaurus, that's the description, could something about it can't leave the loch. But the problem with that theory is the first ever sighting of the Loch Ness monster took place in River Ness, and it's a river that leads to the rock. And for you Christians, story goes that the beast attacked someone, and they wanted to get rid of the they wanted to get rid of the beast, or try to slay it or whatever. They bring in I forgot what the guy's name, but you could look it up on the internet, where he um, there was a missionary. He tried to spread Christianity. That was his goal, and he they go to a location where the beast had attacked a man, and he appears and goes after. Or sorry, he takes one of his disciples to go into the Loch, or a river, and wait for the beast to come and get him. He showed up, and the missionary had a cross in his hand. It was, "Halt, you beast, go no further." And the beast halted and went back down to Loch, or the river Ness, and hadn't been seen for a while. Okay, so I understand about, they say, a lot of the mythology stories. It might have, they might have made stuff up or something, or tell tall tales. But the thing is, and some people say this about skinwalkers. Cause I read a lot of skinwalker stories, or I listen to them, I should say. This was daytime when this happened, okay? And when you see something like that, skinwalkers or Loch Ness monster, that freaks you out, your brain's not gonna just make stuff up to compensate for what they saw. Like, out of anything, you're gonna wish you hadn't seen that. They say about skinwalkers, a deer, someone encounters a deer and it stands up on its hind legs, and someone's driving, they start driving away, and the thing is running alongside their car. You're not going to forget something like that, and your brain, science always tries to keep that stuff down, but you got to understand, like, your brain's not gonna, it doesn't do, like, what I'm trying to say is, you're gonna like wish you hadn't seen that. It doesn't start making stuff up to calm you down. Like, the opposite's gonna happen. If I saw something freaky like that, I wouldn't try to make up a beast and be like, "Oh, this is what happened. It looked like a regular deer," and you do the opposite. You make up, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm trying to say, but it just doesn't, it just doesn't happen like that. Like, you don't make up something like that, So going back to Loch Ness monster, you don't, I'm pretty sure they saw the description of, a huge beast or dinosaur, and there was more than one witnesses to this, according to the story. So, and this gives credit to Christianity for this part. I hate to do that, because they think I'm evil or whatever, or whatever. I'm doing the work of the demons, Just if they hadn't watched my other video about magic, where we do create a circle to keep out demonic energy while we do our work. Yeah, when you see something like that, you're gonna remember it. and you're not gonna like alter it. You know, you're just gonna wish you hadn't seen it. And when you wish you hadn't seen it, you might not even talk about it. That's the point I'm trying to get off here. So, um, there is also a hieroglyphic of ancient Scotland, um, which shows a reptilian being, a reptilian aquatic being, you know, not in the loch, but it's something reptilian, like a giant crocodile or something that existed. You know, it's in the hieroglyphics. So, um, again, you know, dragon. So in the book it says that the Loch Ness monster is a sea dragon, or possibly a sea dragon, because the author isn't sure herself. So, um, like I said, um, there are sightings on it that, um, you know, the overturned back could be an overturned boat. I'm sorry, the humps in the loch could be an overturned boat. You know, I understand that. The ripples in the water could be a boat that had, or a ship that had just been in the area, and the creates the after ripples. You know, that people thought they saw Loch Ness monster. Seeing an otter or something, or geese, they do the same. You know, might look like the Loch Ness monster. So those I understand, but some of the other sightings they were saying, like, you know, an elephant. Some circus used to go by and take their elephants to take a bath, and then the elephants used to go underwater and stick their nose up, and that with the back of the elephant might make people suspect of it being a Loch Ness monster. I can see that here and there, but it doesn't. It depicts this. It explains the sightings for that time, but traveling circuses, I don't think. You know, I think they have other ways to wash their elephants. So the sightings after that, you can, you know. So I do get it, you know, the science aspect of it, but you know, and then back in 1998, they found an underwater cave and they called it Edward's Cave because the guy who discovered it, his name is Edward. So all the videos where they like kind of debunk the legend, they always forget to mention that. They always forget to say, oh, you know, they completely ignore it as if it never happened. So why do you think they ignore it? You know, because like I said, dragons and stuff, and also Bigfoot. There's legend of Bigfoot having extraterrestrial origins. So, and anything extraterrestrial with extraterrestrial origins, they try to keep it hidden. Okay, for the most part, except for, you know, the whole Sumerian tablets. But you know, NASA, you know, they try to keep away from that. You know, I noticed NASA never made any comments about the Sumerian tablets. You know, the Sumerian tablets pretty much tell you, yeah, fucking aliens are real. But, you know, they kind of just ignore it. Like, they don't, you know, they don't even acknowledge its existence. They don't say anything about it. It's just as if it doesn't exist. So, so here's my thing about the Loch Ness monster. First off, have you guys seen The Simpsons? Right? How many times The Simpsons were right? Plenty of times, right? So, how much you want to bet that it exists? Because it sounds silly, but how many times, like I said, how many times were they right? There was an episode in The Simpsons where the Loch Ness monster is real. They tried to, if I remember the episode correctly, they sucked the water out of the loch and they didn't find anything, and then behind them the monster just magically appeared. Now, how do you think that might have happened? Even in their universe, even if it's a cartoon, it might have shapeshifted and came out the loch while they were doing that. Another thing I want to make clear is animals are a lot smarter than what us humans give them credit for. Okay, animal knows where it's not a common sight. Animals are very psychic. When they're in danger, they sense a disturbance in the air, and then they answer. Like when you go to a forest in the woods, and there's a bear. The bear knows that you're there before you know it's there. Okay, so they're in tune. We humans used to be able to do that, and we lost our ability when we started forming society and started living a different way of life. But you could get yourself in tune back into that if you go out into nature, meditate, doing all that, being one with nature. You could still reclaim what we lost. But animals, they're in the wild, they don't lose that. Animals are very psychic. Okay, they feel energy better than we do. So, like here in Connecticut, we have bobcats. Okay, if you go to Arizona or something, or where bobcats are there for years, good to you. They know.
Okay, to warm up and dry out tomorrow. It's freezing again.
Oh yeah. They know they're very psychic. Or they know where they're commonly seen or not. So, so in Arizona or other places, they know, they commonly seen. They don't try to hide. Over here, they know they're not common sight. They made their way back into Connecticut to where we are in Connecticut. So we've seen them. I've seen them, but do I see them every day like you would see a squirrel or a stray cat? No, because they know, they have a sense of knowing, we're not a common sight here, so same thing, they're a lot smarter and a lot more psychic than what we give them credit for. So another example, who's playing Mario 64, going back to, not Simpsons does not deserve all the credit on showing us what's real or not. A lot of video games and a lot of the anime and a lot of the comic books we read throughout our lives also had this. Like I say right now, in X-Men Days of Future Past, we're kind of living that storyline right now. It takes place in the future. There's the story had concentration camps and all that stuff. Those that, especially the New Age that look at conspiracy theories, you see that they're doing that now. And how many stuff like Dragon Ball Z and Sonic CD, where you go into the future and the future's crap. We're in that standpoint, in the 80s and 90s, we were living in that future. So Mario 64, they had Nessie, they had the Loch Ness monster, all right? Same thing with Tomb Raider. They had both versions of the Loch Ness monster, the long snake and the Plesiosaurus. You know, so how much you want to bet? You know, there's some truth to it. There is truth to it. You know, so let me give you another example of you know, stuff we see in not only The Simpsons but also in anime and comic books. You know, 9/11, right? How many cartoons said that 9/11 was going to happen? Okay, this goes on and on and on. You know, Back to the Future, that predicted a lot of stuff. You know, so and there was movies about Loch Ness monster. You know, that there was the famous Loch Ness monster in some movies. You know, there's you know, there's a movie where both the Plesiosaurus and the long neck sea dragon, Loch Ness monster, giant snake exist. You know, so now let's go back to my experience. So yes, I have not been to Loch Ness. I do plan on going there one day. So since I can't go there right now, I haven't been there. I have to use my clairvoyance. So first time I've used my clairvoyance to see if there is a Loch Ness monster. I saw the long neck Plesiosaurus example, that most common depiction of it. I did see that. There were times where I used my clairvoyance and I saw different pictures of people, and that confused me because I was like, I'm trying to view Nessie and I'm seeing humans. So this is before I read the book by DJ Conway about the dragons. But when I read that book, I was like, oh, aha, maybe that was what I was seeing when I was using my clairvoyance. You know, maybe I was seeing the people that were really Nessie, but they had transformed. You know, so that might explain why when they do the research, the sonars, and the sonar comes back, you know, they put hundreds of sonars in there, and it comes back with no large aquatic creature in there. You know, that might be why. You know, and then Google Maps did a thing where they did find a large aquatic creature in the loch. You know, and at first, you know, they were saying, "Oh, this is it, this is it," and then they always do that. They say it is, and then they hype you up, and then they come and go. There, it was a boat or something, or I forgot what they said it was. So this is another reason why to inspire you to open your third eye, because you know your third eye is you see the unseen and know the unknown. It's another way, because now you could go and find out for yourself what's real, what's not. And you know, one of those big fans of cryptids like myself. You know, I even have a tattoo of Nessie with the frog on its head. But yeah, when I read that book, it would click. Oh, that's why I was seeing. You know, then finally, using my clairvoyance, I did see you know, the snake version. I'm not sure if I already covered that, but finally, when I asked my third eye to show me the Loch Ness monster, it showed me a human shapeshift into the creature and shapeshifts back. I saw one time it got out the water and shapeshift as it was getting out the water. Another time it shapeshift into the creature and went into the water. So there was one example I saw where I'm not sure if I'm sure you guys seen the picture of the Loch, and there was like a castle. In the movie, there's a movie with I forgot the actor, but they went into that castle, and there was water, part of the Loch in the castle, and they found the family of Plesiosaurus, the Loch Ness monsters, and the guy wanted to take the picture and tried to expose it, to get money. I forgot what the movie's called, but I think the vision I saw was in that little area. It was like inside, and I saw someone shapeshift into it, and they started, you saw the ripples of a snake makes when it swims into a water, into a pond or a lake. It started doing that, but it was giant because obviously the Loch Ness monster is, a big creature, sea monster, sea serpent. So, my personal theory is it was around during the times of Atlantis, and I've seen, like I said, going back to the theory of what we see in comic books and other fiction settings have some truth to it. So I do have comic books about. I'm a big fan of Submariner, where he's riding a water horse, a sea serpent, a Loch Ness monster, and it was a very revered creature. And I bet you that the fall of Atlantis, as Atlantis fell, they went to Loch Ness or other lakes and where they claim to have sea monsters. One becomes champ, or a family of them becomes champ, and another, there's some in Australia, not in the lake, but actually in the sea over in Australia. I remember seeing, there used to be a show called Sightings, and it was there too. They did an episode where beachgoers were hanging out in Australia, and they saw a giant Plesiosaurus. So I have a is it Atlantis? No, a mermaid and whales deck, oracle deck, and they have both versions of the Loch Ness monster as a card. One's the Plesiosaurus, and the other one is the long sea serpent, sea snake. So yes, mermaids are real too. Just take place in another dimension. I've actually done past life readings for people that they did have a mermaid past life. So yeah, just open your eyes, open your minds. Anything's possible. This universe is very magical. It's just you gotta be attuned with it, but with society and the way we go to school and stuff, they close your minds to it, and they really close your minds to the possibility when really this universe is limitless. And we learn make believe, and they show it to us through television. So this, and other movies and comic books, whatever, fiction. So a lot of our fiction is based off of facts and not the other way around. So open your minds, open your third eye. It's another reason to do that. And thank you for watching my video. Please hit that like and subscribe, and stay safe. I'll catch you guys later. Another video soon.